What an ugly win. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Talking Jets with Tigo. My name is Tigo, and the Road Warriors travel to one of the worst stadiums in the NFL to play away at, Mile High in Denver, and walk away with an ugly, ugly win. And that's what this is. It's an ugly win. Breece Hall goes down early. Elijah Vera-Tucker goes down early. Corey Davis goes down early. We were missing arguably our three best players on offense, but we were still able to walk away with a win against one of the better defenses in the league, and that's what Denver is. I mentioned this before the game. If you don't believe me, you can go look it up. I said that this game was going to be the game that offense forgot. That's what this game was supposed to be. That's what this game was going to be. And that's exactly what we saw. Both offenses looked really, really bad, and it was going to come down to whose defense was going to be able to win the turnover battle. And the Jets won the turnover battle. We have the really, really good special teams play from Braden Mann and Greg Zuerlein, who didn't miss a kick all game, and we scored so many points off of the back of him. We got an interception. We got two interceptions. One of them was robbed. But we got an interception. We should have had more. Brett Rippin throwing a Whitehead at the end there. But let's just talk about specific things in this game, what went wrong, and all of those things. Let's hop right into it. Let's start off with the offensive side of the ball. Zach did not look good this game. People who know me and watch the channel and know my beliefs on Zach and all that stuff, I believe that Zach can be our quarterback of the future. I believe in him, and I tend to be a Zach Wilson apologist a lot of the times. And today is going to be the opposite of that. We can, in both senses, look at this game and say, man, Zach looked bad, but also put it into the context that he also faced the number one passing defense in the NFL right now, and that showed. The other thing is we can talk about the fact that this offensive line allowed pressure on almost every single offensive snap. Zach was out here playing scared. That doesn't change the fact that when he's throwing balls at receivers, there was multiple times today where he's throwing the ball behind the receiver on crossing routes and different things like that. I don't know if that's not having familiarity with these receivers yet or whatever it is and not understanding the speed that they travel at, but whatever it is, he's got to fix that. But again, we saw a New York Jets team step up on offense in different places and really go get the win while missing the number one offensive target in Breece Hall, the number one wide receiver in Corey Davis, and their best offensive lineman in Elijah Vera-Tucker, all in one game, all early. So while there's a lot that needs to be improved offensively, and I mean a lot, Zach Wilson needs to get better. They weren't trusting Zach to target the ball deep, and I get it. PS2 and all those guys in that secondary are elite. But when you can't trust your quarterback, you can't win games. You can't rely on Breece Hall to be your entire offense. And again, we're going to have to work on that. And this is like what I was telling my wife earlier because she was asking me. She was like, oh, so you guys won. That's awesome, right? And I was like, yes and no. This is one of those wins where like you win, it's an ugly win, but it feels like a loss because there was a lot of bad things on offense. And this was a game that I can truly say I was disappointed in Zach Wilson and what I believe he is as a quarterback because this game was not it. Now let's talk about the defense. The defense was absolutely flying. When are offensive coordinators going to realize that you don't test Sauce Gardner? That's it. He was, I said this at the time of the draft, and is still going to right now, the best player to come out of this of this draft class. He was player number one on my big board was Sauce Gardner for a reason, and it wasn't close. No one was even close to Sauce when it came to my rankings. And the fact that the Jets walked away with him at 4, and not just that they walked away with him at 4, he was the second cornerback taken, is an absolute travesty. And the other thing that I think is absolutely insane is that Sauce Gardner didn't get a single interception this game, right? But people keep talking about interceptions being what wins Defensive Rookie of the Year, blah, 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 blah. No. This is why interceptions shouldn't be the main stat tracked for Defensive Rookie of the Year. Sauce Gardner had 10 total tackles, 9 of them being solo, and he had 3 Count it, 3 passes defended. After this game, assuming that no one goes off crazy on Sunday Night Football or Monday Night Football, Sauce Gardner will have the most passes defended in the NFL. Not amongst all rookies, which he leads that too, obviously, but in the NFL. And that's not to take away from the fact that DJ Reed had 8 total tackles, 7 of them solo, and also had 3 pass breakups this game. There is a serious conversation about the New York Jets not only having the argument of who's the best corner in the NFL right now being 2 guys that are on the same team, because DJ Reed and Sauce Gardner need to be in that conversation. One thing that I will complain is that the defensive line couldn't get going against this Broncos offensive line. Russell Wilson, for the first 6 games of the year, was under pressure constantly, and Brett Rippon looked comfortable in the pocket. There was a couple of big hits. We got, we got 1 sack this game, and we got 1, I think, quarterback hit. That being said, it's just not good enough. Right? We need to be lethal on our pass rush, and it started to look like this pass rush started to play more selfishly again, and that's a problem. Play for each other. Play for one another. Set each other up to get the sacks. And I do want to highlight one player, Bryce Huff. Man, did he look good in his pass rush sets. Absolutely insane, moving bodies and getting into the backfield. And again, Quinnen Williams directly led to the interception that LaMarcus Joyner got, right? He blew up the middle of the thing, hit Rippon right as he was throwing the ball, right at LaMarcus Joyner. That Jordan Whitehead pass where it looked like he was literally just throwing it at Jordan Whitehead, he was under duress. But the sacks got to come, and somebody on Twitter, I think it was Leger, said it on Twitter, the moment that our defensive ends learn to cut back instead of keeping running around the quarterback when they're being carried by the tackles, we're going to get a lot more sacks. And I think that that's true. We were kind of just our speed and strength is being used against us. We got to start using our quickness on the defensive end line. Let's talk special teams. Special teams was absolutely phenomenal. Braden Mann definitely deserves a ball of the game. Greg Zuerlein, 3 for 3 on field goals, 1 for 1 on the extra points with a 45-yarder in that win. Absolutely insane. Scored a majority of our points. He got 10 of our points, right? Which is absolutely great. And Braden Mann with 8 kicks for 438 yards. Absolutely insane. And he got a ball on the 2-yard line with the help of Brandon Eccles and Justin Hardy, which honestly might be the best gunner duo in the NFL, hands down. Guys, it was an incredible game, but I am going to end on this one note. The New York Jets were plagued, and I mean plagued, with penalties. It was too many penalties this game. The New York Jets had 11 penalties for 85 yards. That is unacceptable. And the other thing is the time of possession. The Denver Broncos had 32 minutes and 23 seconds of time of possession this game. Unacceptable. We're not going to keep winning games if we're losing the time of possession battle and we're losing the penalty battle. We got lucky that we faced Brett Rippon and a struggling Denver offense, and that our defense is an elite unit. We've got to turn it around, and we've got to start looking forward to playing at home against the New England Patriots, because that's not going to be an easy game. That is another good defense that we're going to have to play against. And so we're looking at a really rough stretch over the next 3 games, if you include the game after the bye week. And the New York Jets aren't going to keep this winning streak going. We are 4-0 since Zach has come back, and we are 4-0 away. We have won 5 of our last 6. If we want to keep this going and we really want to prove to the NFL that the New York Jets are here, Zach Wilson, you need to step up. You were drafted number 2 overall, and you got to start leading this team. We can't keep winning in spite of you. We have to win because of you. And that has to start changing sooner rather than later. But I will give a pass on this game and probably over the next couple of games because we're facing some of the most challenging defenses in the NFL right now. But if you start to struggle against the Chicago Bears, against the Detroit Lions, the Seattle Seahawks, who have not had good defense, they've had great offense. If Zach continues to struggle, we're going to have a serious conversation at the end of this season about what is Zach Wilson. But until then, hey, we are 5-2 going into week 8. This is absolutely awesome. The New York Jets win 16-9 against the Denver Broncos in, like I said, one of the worst stadiums in the NFL at Mile High. Guys, if you like the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment, do all that stuff. I would really, really appreciate it. But last but not least, go Jets.